Okay, again, I am going to be giving very, very spoilery reviews here, so I understand if you don't necessarily want to watch this, or maybe if you have already seen the episodes, you don't mind, but yeah, again, just expect something a little more spoiler heavy than usual. Alright, episode 4 of Ms. Marvel is called Seeing Red. And I had to be careful there because I almost said turning red. That's an entirely different thing, obviously. But sadly, we don't get Kamala turning into a cat or anything like that. No, her and her mother are on the way to Karachi. They land, they meet up with the grandmother and 2 cousins. I guess maybe a sister or an aunt or something. I can't remember, but yeah, 2 cousins primarily because they're Kamala's age. And Kamala is very nervous that she brought a stuffed animal from her youth called Sloth Baby with her, and now everyone on the internet loves Sloth Baby. Anyway, they go to the house. You kind of see where the relationship between Kamala and her mother is also eerily similar between her mother and her mother, Maniva, and I'm just going to call her Nani because I never got her name. So they just call her Nani throughout most of it, so I'm just going to call her Nani for the sake of this. Nani in private sees the bangle and says, yes, my mother, your great grandmother, told me that we are part jinn and we're part magic and everything like that. I keep trying to tell the other family members, but they don't really listen to me and they think I'm on some flight of fancy. But yeah, there might be some people in town here who can help you. And, while she's out with her cousins, she winds up running, investigating this thing at the train station because of the train she saw earlier. And it's there that she meets Kareem, a.k.a. Red Dagger, or part of the Red Dagger Society, a group that basically... they're sort of opponents to the Clandestine because they realized what they're doing, or what the Jinn plan is, and I guess I didn't quite get the. I'm not as familiar with the character from the comics, unfortunately. I know that he is one of many love interests for Kamala, and yeah, they do play that in here too. It's like, they have an initial battle, but she sort of says, hey, no, I'm trying to fight them too. I don't want to do anything bad. And he takes them to his trainer, basically the head of the Red Daggers, Waleed, who, explains what the Jinn's plan is. They're trying to get back to their home dimension, but to do that they have to kind of split the veil between the dimensions and cross over, but that could actually result in everything being destroyed, or emerging between the dimensions. And just as this happens, it turns out the Clandestine escape, except for Cameron, who basically got abandoned. They left him behind. He got out of jail, but that's about all he did. Like, they didn't follow him. It's Nanja, that's Cameron's mother, and the others, and they, run on. There's a big fight, and Waleed is killed, and Kamala eventually squares off with Nanja, who grabs the bracelet. Suddenly, this big flashing light comes up, and suddenly Kamala is in 1947, possibly 1950. I'm not sure, where the partition between India and Pakistan is happening, and I guess I have to explain that because I didn't really get too far into it. Nani explained that, when the partition happened, her family was being driven out because they were Muslims, and it's like, you're in Pakistan now. That's where, I believe it's the Sikh Muslims, I may be wrong on that, are going, and they are, and so, it happened, and in the hectic nature of it, because it was so many people everywhere at once, and they're just all over the place. She got separated from her parents, and her, it was the last time she saw her mother, but her mother gave her the bangle before leaving, and so that's why we're traveling back to this point, and we'll tackle more of that in the next episode. Overall, I would say the episode is pretty good in that there's some decent world building. They do explain things. Again, it's a technical problem I have, and it turns out I'm not the only one having these problems, where sometimes Disney Plus shows just have terrible audio mixing. Again, I had to crank my volume way up to hear. Until right about to the tail end when the action sequence started, and then it got way too loud. Yeah, that was probably the one real drawback to this. Like I said, it's a very quiet episode. There's a lot of fun moments. Again, like Kamala being teased for bringing Sloth Baby, and her cousins trying to sort of explain, the tensions with India, and how they actually still want to be part of India, but they have their own national identity as Pakistani as well, and how there's kind of this mixture, and how people were driven from their homes, but we settled here at this ad, and there's kind of a good little history lesson, some experience with that, which again we'll get a bit more of in the next episode as well. Overall, I'm getting this. Like I said, this is really still a very solid and enjoyable show. I am going to give it an A. Again, I also liked the end credits, which have which instead of being shots around Jersey City, they're shots around Karachi. So it's again a little bit of a different flavor, it's a bit of a different experience. And also, we're slowly seeing Kamala's costume being assembled, for lack of a better term. Like the previous episode, she got the mask, and in this one, she's gotten an additional suit for fighting in that will help her. And we'll get more again in the next episode after that. Again, if there's any other down points, not really in this one. There's a bit more in the next one, which we'll get to. So like I said, this gets an A.
Hey kids, want to see the hottest X-Men ever? It's new Light Up X-Men. Turn on the awesome power of Wolverine's laser blaster. Light up the blinding power of Gambit's plasmic energy cards. Ignite the scorching power of Juggernaut's crystal torch. Load X-Men's light up weapons and you'll have the power.
The heat is on, X-Men.
To light up the action.
Lights out, Juggernaut!
Juggernaut's down, but is he out? Light up X-Men. Turn on the power. Light up the action. Light up X-Men. Don't step again.
You've seen them on the big screen. Now see them on your screen. It's time to assemble a brand new animated series.
Avengers Assemble!
Marvel's Avengers Assemble, a brand new animated series, premieres next month only on Disney XD.
Okay, the next episode, episode 5, is called Time and Again, and this is basically the big explanation episode, because it's really like half, maybe not even 2/3 of the episode is just backstory. In this case, it is the backstory of Kamala's great-grandmother, Aisha. It's the very early, it's the late stages of India fighting for their own independence, and she's kind of on the run from her British troops, and she winds up running into this village where she meets a man named Hassan, who is a Muslim, but he lives with Hindu and Sikh, and he's preaching that, hey, we all need to work together to get a free country. So, the British shouldn't be here anymore. And, it seems that everything's going that way, and he's doing it peacefully. He's not telling them to take up arms, because he's definitely a student of Mahatma Gandhi. So we are getting that. But, eventually, India does get its independence, but they'll only do it if they partition off. Yeah, again, the British have to divide it up because you can't be leaving us potential superpower. So they have to divide it up. I feel like they did Arabia. And as a result, even though Aisha and Hassan have met and fallen in love and had one baby, Nani, obviously, they're being driven out. They're not really welcome in the village anymore, even. That's how, quickly everything changes. They're having to buy milk and fruit and food in, covert means because, no one can be seen talking to them. That's really how bad this has turned that quickly. And so, and she says, look, we need to go, this isn't, and he's like, okay, no, we need to stay and fight. Like, no, that's not going to be good for our family. We need to do this peacefully. I know it stinks, but, in the long run, this will probably be better. And from there, though, it turns out Nanja has tracked Ayesha down and said, hey, it's time to, merge the veils, or to break the veil and cross over. But Ayesha's like, no, I have human connections here now. I'm not really willing to do that. And as a result, while they're leaving, Ayesha senses Nanja at the train station, where she manages to separate just enough to tell Hassan to take the child who eventually becomes Nani, to the train as best they can. And Nanja pops up and stabs Ayesha, but she doesn't have the bangle with her. It's with Nani. And as this is happening, though, as she's dying, she's bleeding to death, Ayesha says some type of chant and is saying her daughter's name, which I still never got. Sorry. Again, audio mixing not good on this episode. And that is what brings Kamala back to 1947. She thinks she's brought back an aged, Nani. But no, it's like, no, I'm not her, but, it's like, it's okay. Just, you gotta make sure she gets on the train and give her this. And she gives her this picture. And, Kamala uses the bangle to make sure after Hassan and Nani are separated that they get reunited so they can get on the train and get out. And she realizes, oh, I'm the one who, who played this big role and played this thing. And she manages to get back to the present, where it turns out the veil has been pierced and the dimensions are merging. And one of the clandestine goes across to see if it works, and they are immediately killed. And so they realized, oh no, we made this terrible mistake. And the others are all being killed. Nanja says, I'm the only one I think who can seal this right now. I'm the only one left who can seal this. Which says, what about Cameron? It's like, he didn't come with us. It's like, well, you can't just abandon him. He's just... And she realizes that, and she does kind of the same ritual Ayesha did, and this results in Cameron getting power, which I don't think he had back in Jersey City. We'll get back to Cameron soon. And as this plays out, it turns out that Nani and Muniba were very worried about Kamala and were looking around for where she was, and they kind of witnessed most of this thing, and now they so Muniba is now aware that Kamala has powers, and yes, and Nani says, again, I tell you for generations that, we have magic in our, we're not all human, but you never listened. You just pass it off as, but, kind of from this, though, again, we get more of the costume. In fact, one part of Kamala's necklace breaks, and we get the Ms. Marvel lightning bolt logo from that. After the veil is resealed and everything's kind of back to normal, Red Dagger gives him his protective facial scarf, which is also going to be part of her costume now as well. So you're getting all the mixture of that. And then we go back to Jersey City, where Cameron has run back to Bruno, and he says, look, you're the only guy, Kamala's not here. I know Kamala's not here. You're the only guy who can help me right now. Is like, okay, well, they're sort of hanging out in Bruno's place above the convenience store. And, because it turns out Bruno's parents sort of abandoned him too. And so they are kind of bonding, but that's interrupted by a drone from damage control following them. And Cameron fires a blast to try to destroy it, but it winds up blowing up the convenience store. And that's how the episode ends. And unfortunately, I think that's sort of the weak point of this episode. I have seen a few videos reviewing, not this episode in particular, but reviewing the series overall, and I think a couple of them hit on the unique consensus of 6 episodes really isn't enough for these shows, the Marvel shows in general. I mean, like some have, I think, worked all the way through. WandaVision, I think, worked really well all the way through. That met out the 6 episodes. You know, but Falcon and Winter Soldier really didn't. That had a really clunky ending. I'm trying to think what the other ones were. Yeah, Moon Knight, again, I said that had a really clunky ending. That seemed oddly rushed and there was too much going on. You know, this, I don't know if it's had a clunky ending in the strictest sense, but it seems like the Clandestine were the real baddies of this. And now they're pretty much done, so, yeah, we're pivoting to damage control for one more episode? What? Yeah, it's like, maybe they should have thought that out a little more. Maybe, you know, it'd be nicer if, say, we had 8 episodes. Like, I thought the Clandestine bit was already kind of rushed, as, you know, pretty much in the episode they debuted, they're immediately made villains soon afterwards. So, yeah, we are starting to see a little bit of the problems with the series length, or season length. I'm trying to think, was there another... Oh, I'll think of it at some point. Anyway, overall, like I said, this episode isn't bad. There's some really good backstory building in this. Unfortunately, it just gets way too rushed and jumbled towards the end to really be all that enjoyable, in my opinion. I'm going to give episode 5, Time and Again, a B. Like I said, not bad, just too uneven during most of the parts. And again, terrible sound mixing. Okay, so... yeah, don't know why I paused there. Next video is going to be the Thor Love and Thunder review. That's going to be up probably on Friday. I am getting an early screening of it, but I've been house sitting most of this week, so I've been bouncing back and forth. That's why this video is up a little bit later than usual, because it's like I had to choose between shooting this after watching the episode or, you know, going up to take care of the chores up there. And with the cats and everything, so I chose the latter. Just felt that a little better, and I might have to after the Thor screening, and also dinner will come up. So again, that might be a little bit later than usual, but not too much later. After that, it's going to be the random trade review on Spider-Man Breakout. Then obviously next week will be the finale for Ms. Marvel and the overall thoughts of the series. I guess I can hopefully split that up enough. And then nothing for until July 22nd for Nope. So see you all next time. Hey guys, remember, you can help support my channel at patreon.com/SleepyTimeForCat Productions, where you can help request a movie, even if it's something like, say, Sonic the Hedgehog or the next Purge film. I'll review it.